In order for you to improve and to develop your game to the next level, you must have the ability to coach yourself. You must have the ability to be able to rack up a game of 9, 8, or 10 ball, and you're going to be able to go on the table and try to execute what is it that you're practicing. I learned a long time ago when I was learning this game that it doesn't make any sense you practice something when the opportunity comes up for you to deliver. You are, fearful of the outcome. Becoming a strong player requires you to have knowledge, it requires you to have application, it requires you to be very confident, it requires you to be focused and to be disciplined. Now, of course, in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you well, it's not a break and run, but there was so many things that came from this rack that I want to share with you. Things that were done right and things that were done wrong, and of course there were some that occurred during this rack. So let's start off here with the break. Let's see how successful we can be on this break here. Really nice solid hit on the head ball. Let's take a look at replay for a closer review here. Nice delivery, my head is down straight, body's nice, control power. Got a little bit of a pop there, lots of top spin, so the cue ball is heading up table. An additional kiss there from the 8 coming up on the short rail, and I'm getting nice spread, I'm not getting a packed up cluster. Alright, and now I'm looking at this here, right away there is not an offensive opportunity available here. Now, one thing that I've learned over the years during my practice session and during also my wagers matches, guys, I tend to always encourage persons to play as if you are playing in an actual match. And one thing I know, guys, is that fortune favors the brave, because here I have the option, even though I'm practicing with myself, I have the option where I could have played a push out. Instead, what I'm trying to do here is that I'm trying to practice when the opportunity comes up where I have to jump, bank a ball and play position. So here I'm going to try to bank the 1, jump, bank the 1, and look at here, I got a nice roll here that squeezed up right behind the 9 and the 4, and I've locked off the 1 for myself. So again, it was a fairly good attempt. Remember, this is the 9-ball game, so if a ball goes down, it is your shot. Fortunately for me here, as you can see, that I have resafed myself accidentally. Now, one of the things that you will most likely or more often see me do here is that I tend to apply the things that I learned during practice. I'm a very mathematical, methodical type of player, so my kicking, my banking, my position play, it heavily depends. It heavily depends, pardon me, on my mathematical prowess on the table, and everything that I do. For example, here in this kick shot here, it was measured to precision there, right? Even though I got a sold out here, right? It that kick shot was not an easy one. You guys can actually try it. You find, if you don't have a really dependable system, you'll realize here that you're always gonna be in the guesswork. Now, as you can see there, I took a pause, and you can see right away I'm taking a look at what angle I need on that tool. Now, I'm not quite sure. I walked away after looking at the cluster on the 2 and the 3. I walked away and I was looking at whether or not I can pot the 2. I'm a little bit concerned, but here I have a nice clean pot here on the 1. And this is such a lovely stroke. This is such a lovely cue delivery. I'm gonna put an overlay, an opaque overlay, to see here. I got a little bit distracted as I'm about to pull the trigger. Somebody walked across my shot, and so because I'm in practice, what I want to do is I want to practice that when these things happen, whether from the patrons, from the supporters, you've got to have the discipline to get up even when you're fully set. So here I'm gonna stroke this 1 ball in here and pay very close attention to how the cue ball floats into position. Let's take a look at the replay here. So here I'm going to stroke this one in. Notice how I play position right in that zone. Now see, there you can see the overlay. Watch the cue ball traveling in the same path that I had predicted, and watch that cue ball bounce off the short rail with the correct speed, and it comes dead in line with my intended area. That is what you call pinpoint positional play. That kind of shot cannot be executed with any sort of flawed fundamentals or flaws in your stroke. That was a beautifully executed shot. Now I got, as you can see here, I hang my head down here. You can see I'm a little bit disappointed because I was trying to actually play. Let me see if I can get a zoom up or replay for you. I can't really pass the 2, so I'm trying to edge the 2 and drag that 3. And I mean, unfortunately here it's just so sad that I didn't get that ball down, because I would have literally set up here for a beautiful break and run. But I unfortunately missed that 3. Now, for me, I think the biggest competition that I've ever faced is having to face the ghost of myself. You know, when I'm practicing, I usually have to practice all by myself. You know, it's very difficult to find a practice partner, because the sport that I love so much is not really well recognized in my country. And so, you know, a lot of persons don't even know that, you know, we are such good players here in Jamaica that could represent the country. But here I am on the 2, and notice the angle that I set up here for the 3 to get back onto the 4. That's all the way up here. Now what you're about to see from these couple of theatrics, that's what I call them here on the table, is you're gonna see where my intention to get the ball into a specific zone here is gonna be crucial for me to run this rack. You can see I'm moving my shaft along the rail, and so what I'm trying to determine here, and at the time of recording this video, I was actually practicing a very important cross table positional play using a mathematical formula. I think I have a video out on my channel on that. I think I should be able to show you the thumbnail right here. So what you see here in that video, I will explain to you how you can pot a ball when your cue ball and the object ball is in the same line along the short rail. You can use a quantified amount of spin to get the cue ball to hit a specific diamond on the top half of the table. So you can see I'm moving my shaft along the rail there. I'm trying to determine, notice I'm counting diamonds. I'm counting that I want to kind of bump off the short rail, the long rail there in that region, and land into this zone for the 4. Now it's going to be crucial to get an angle on the 4 to transition back to the 5. So what you're going to see here is where I did a little bit of miscalculation. Now I went in the direction, I really went into the direction that I wanted. I landed in the zone to which I highlighted earlier, but what I intended on doing was that I wanted to find how to get beneath the 7 to bump off the long rail and head into that zone. Now what I have here is a little bit of a flat angle, and one of the things that contributes to unforced errors is usually because the positional play that you had intended was not delivered. Even though I'm in the zone here, I'm going to stroke the shot because I'm trying to, I'm trying to power stroke the shot here so I can still keep position for my 5. And now the rack gets a little bit haywire now I kind of lost, I'm still focused, I'm still trying to run the rack because this is how I practice. But here I have a flaw in the stroke, and I realize that whenever I'm playing this shot, especially if I'm under pressure, usually that very outcome there is exactly the outcome that usually happens to me. So I have that to work on back in my practice session. Big overcut there wasn't any flaws in the stroke, so definitely the mistake and miss on that shot was as a result of miscalculation in my aiming. Now what I did find, guys, even now where I'm struggling, you're not really seeing, me right now. This me right here that you're watching was maybe a couple of months ago, right before I took a long break from pool. So I'm gonna have some videos for you here where you're gonna see, whoo, that was a fortunate roll there that I grazed the 8. I was definitely trying to avoid the 8 there. Now you're gonna see some videos coming out on the channel, guys, throughout the course of the year, and you're gonna see more of the type of player that I am right now. At this point I was dead in stroke zone mode. I was really dead focused. I was, in tune with my practicing. I was really focused. And I want you to take a look at this shot here. This is such a beautiful stroke here on the shot. So clean. Bang. Beautiful. Using the tangent lightly. Let's have a look at the replay here. Beautiful stroke, bridging over the pocket. Nice delivery, no body movement, no head movement. Nice delivery, and just bumping out towards the middle of the table for perfect position here on the 7. That was a beautiful shot. That was an absolute, and it felt good. At this point, I literally don't think I can do anything wrong. Literally. And like I said, guys, it's not easy to play pool like this because, when in the area that I'm at, a lot of the players here, they're leisure players. They literally do not know that the game can be played as serious and as accurate as this. So a lot of the times, I don't have a lot. If I want competition across my island in my game, I have to go out of my parish to get that. I'm not going to get that big challenge. Only but Shane and a couple of other young players that will, give me a challenge, really. And I'm just happy to be playing like this. That was such another clean shot there. Again, let's have a look at the replay here. Beautiful delivery of the cue. Look at that. Dead straight. No twitching. No anything at all. Nice and smooth. Nice and clean. And I like that. This is me at my best, at my A performance. Now, even though it wasn't a break and run, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that there is a lot of growth in my game. You will never believe how far I've come to be able to play and to think and to deliver as how you see me doing here on screen. It took me a very, very long time. Now at the moment at the point of making this video, I'm actually struggling to really get back on form. But I'm here, guys, and I'm gonna continue to improve and practice here. Alright, so I want to wish you guys a happy new year, and I'm gonna take it out here with this, New Year celebration that I had start January 1st, 2026. So see you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.